15 minutes so that we give everyone ample time. Sally, thank you, Kathy. If you want to share your screen and tell us about KL2s.
Go. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sally Radwick. I'm the PI of the KL2 program. So as you probably know from previous presentations, the KL2 program trains junior faculty that are referred to as scholars. These are equivalent to what you may think of as K08s or K23s at the NIH. And in fact, this becomes somewhat of a pre-K23, K08 award for some of our trainees. The aims of the KL2 are to develop the work.
Sally, your screen is frozen to my mind's eye. I don't know if it is.
Right. No, I'm not. I'm just talking about the first slide, right?
Oh, good. Okay. I just don't have it all on my screen though.
Oh, you don't see this?
No. But, okay. Just keep going.
Does anybody else have a problem or?
Yeah, we can't see it. It's not projecting properly, Sally.
Doesn't look like it.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I got it. Do I have it now?
No, now it's not shared.
I'm doing shared screen. If that's not it.
There you go. Life is good now.
But it won't move. Okay.
Do you want me to put more in it?
Yeah, Tracy's gonna need to put it up. Wait.
There you go. Now it's moving.
All right.
Well done. All right.
Yep. No, wrong way. Okay, screen sharing has stopped. All right, let's try again. How's that?
No, not quite.
I can put it up if you want.
Yeah, would you put it up and just say, Mila, Sally just asked Mila to advance. So if you could not stop share, and Mila put it up.
Okay, now share. How about now?
That looks encouraging, but we're seeing your next slide. It's not in present.
Okay, well.
Oh, there we go. Okay, it's coming up now. So is that, Mila, is that you or?
Nope, that's.
You know what? Would you be okay with just going with this?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's just go, okay? Because we can control this. I'm not sure what the problem is, but we're gonna take care of it. Okay, so this is, do you see this well? Are you okay? All right, so I'm just gonna make it as big as I can and we're gonna go with the flow. Yep. All right, so again, the KL2 program trains junior faculty. It develops the workforce for promoting translational sciences in the communities. Each of the trainees, scholars, has an individualized development plan that it forms the basis then for their evaluation that is done quarterly. And there's also included a 360-degree evaluation. The basis for mentoring is the Academy of Mentors. Mentors for the scholars are all members of the Academy. All of the mentors have a track record of funding, training, and career development.
Sally.
Yes. Are we good? All right. These are the KL2 leads and co-leads, myself, and the other three leads are Dan Notterman at Princeton, Steve Vatner at New Jersey Medical School, and Fred Wundesford at Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. The leads, you'll note, are from the three different of the institutions, because we want to make sure we can promote recruitment as well as mentoring in each of those institutions. And this is this is considered their responsibility to coordinate at their respective institutions. Okay, so our current scholars, as you'll notice, these are there is a diversity amongst the scholars. There's a diversity of institutions from the scholars. There's racial and gender diversity. And as you'll notice, as I tell you about them, there is a diversity in the areas of research that they're focused on. We have 4 scholars, 2 are supported by institutional funds, 2 are also supported by the KL2 program. We had 12 applicants in our first round, began a year and a half, almost a year and a half ago now. And they are Kiana Brown, who you've probably heard about from Steve Crystal. She's in the School of Social Work, and she studies cannabis use during preconception, pregnancy, and lactation. Ankit Shah is at Robert Wood Johnson Medical School, studies glycerol contribution to hepatic gluconeogenesis and obesity. Chintan Dave is at the College of Pharmacy, studies hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia associated with drugs used by older adults for diabetes. And Alyssa Kozlov is at the School of Public Health. Her research, health mindfulness to alleviate stress for caregivers of cognitively impaired older adults. Okay. So just a little bit about our curriculum. Each of the K awardees has a individualized career development plan. It's diverse because they have different levels of expertise in areas of translational sciences, and their goals are very different. So our curriculum is much more diverse, and some scholars can exempt from some of the curriculum because they already have expertise. However, there is a curriculum that they must take, and that is responsible conduct and research, innovation and entrepreneurship, which is given by ORED, rigor and reproducibility in science. There are seminars that we have in the KL2 program. They have an oral presentation twice a year, which is required in the parent grant, and then the Rutgers Institute for Translational Medical Sciences seminars. Okay, a little bit about each of the scholars. And this is always a lot of fun because they have, in the last year and 5 months, they have been amazingly successful. And this is exemplified by some of our outcome measures that we're following. Kiana has already published 5 papers, 3 of them in the last several months, including during the COVID crisis. As first author, this includes in JAMA and Lancet Psychiatry. She obtained an NIH loan repayment plan. She is the co-I of an NCATS-U program and has an R01 plan for submission in March of next year. She's done many other things. She's given oral presentations. She had a LEAD fellowship, an unmeeting travel award, which was also something that Ankit Shah had, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Hers was lifespan and life course research, perfect for her area of interest. She's an editorial board member. She also took advantage of the CLIC KL2 program directors group visitor scholars. She went to Johns Hopkins 2 weeks ago and gave a talk at the Catalyst Seminar Series. She is an elected member to the board of directors of the Association of Women in Science. And her core utilization is community and special populations, which is appropriate, certainly appropriate for her area of interest. Ankit is also been productive. He had a JBC publication. He has a JCI publication that's been submitted. He has a Bush Biomedical Research Award, and he has a K23 that he's going to submit in June. Unfortunately, and we'll talk about that, he was challenged by the interruption of recruitment in the Clinical Research Center. He has research subjects and normal control patients that he was studying, and unfortunately for a short time there, he was interrupted in his ability to recruit, but that was actually very well taken care of, and he rapidly got back into action so that he can get enough data for his research grant. He's been to NIH workshops on tracers, which is he's using in vivo tracers in humans, so this was perfect for him. He is getting his MS in clinical research, which Kathy told you a little bit about. He also went to an unmeeting, and his was clinical research in COVID era and beyond, which was really great that the CLIC program had that meeting. He is taking part in the grant writing workshop that the IFH offers. He is also going to be going to Duke University as one of the visiting scholars and giving grand rounds there. This is appropriate for him because he has potential collaborators at Duke, and he's looking forward to presenting his work there in April. He used his workforce to get his master's, the community in order to recruit, and Tara were the CRC. Okay. The other two scholars we have are Chintan Dave. Chintan is been very prolific in his publications, especially during COVID, because his research did not have major slowdown during research. So he published 9 papers, first author papers during his first year and a few months on the grant. He's submitted an R01 and he has a PCORI grant that's pending. He has taken part in some activities at Rutgers and a Gerontology Society meeting. Alyssa at the School of Public Health has also been very active with 4 publications. She is submitting multiple grants. You could see she submitted an R21, which got the 12th percentile that wasn't funded. She resubmitted her K76. She's resubmitting her K26 in February, and she just this week resubmitted her K23. She's also taken advantage of opportunities either here at Rutgers or at the broader CTSAs. And however, she's also faced challenges for recruitment because her research is in nursing homes, and interestingly has had, like many of our trainees that have had issues with parenting. The CLIC did an interesting study. They took a survey of T awardees and K awardees, and they asked questions about how their research was impacted by COVID. And 48% of the KL2 awardees said it had the major impact on parenting. So in itself, I think that's interesting, but is concerning because this is our workforce that is being affected by this unfortunate turn of events. So we've done some career development activities together. Nick Ponzio gave an improv to improve workshops to our scholars. We have leveraged the e-commercialization handbook, and the scholars are taking advantage of having the ORID course. The scholars attend many of the faculty development or mentoring events. In fact, Morale Moravian has ensured that we can advertise this to all of our scholars. including scholars, which I'll tell you about in a second, which are the Greater Society of Scholars. They've also taken part in bird workshops, the RITMS seminars, and other opportunities they've had to advance their career development as part of their individualized development plan. The website has been launched, and I think there's some issues with getting onto the right site for the scholars, but I think we have a very nice website. We also have a newsletter that's distributed, and this is very important for our scholars because in the newsletter, we advertise their successes and we celebrate them. They use it for information, but we also use it because we are very proud of what they're doing. All right, so more progress and plans. We have conducted extensive reviews of the KL2 scholars quarterly. As part of our program, we have convened the executive committee and reappointed the 4 current scholars. We're talking with Workforce and TL1 about badging, and specifically we're interested in whether this is something that we can use for faculty members. We are taking part in competency training. I'm a member of CLIC's Career Metrics QI Committee, and this is very, very important to me because there is a major controversy about what the appropriate metrics are to judge a scholar program. And I'm learning about what the current thinking is so that when we resubmit or renew the grant, we'll be prepared with having metrics that fit the standard of the national standards. Kathy and I have talked about having the K scholars mentor the T scholars. In fact, we have an informal type of mentorship going on with some of them, but this may be something we should think about advancing. The strategy, we have to increase our diversity and inclusion, make sure we have programs to do that. And I'm very interested in working to develop a pipeline for physician scientists. So we've just the meetings, as you know, we've had our external advisory board meeting, and we are planning our mini EAB with Workforce and TL1 in December, so that we could put forward some of our successes and plans for the future and discuss, and I specifically want to discuss the metrics. So we've had several RFAs for scholars. One, we had many inquiries. This was the NCCIH administrative supplement with nobody eligible, but we did have 2 candidates who were chosen to submit applications for NIH diversity and re-entry supplements. This just happened last month. It was competitive, and I think we learn about them early next year and whether they were successful. The KL2s, we have now our second cohort applications that have just been submitted. And we've had 10 applications of 18 inquiries. And I'm very, very happy about this because, you know, I want to make sure that we're inclusive of all of the institutions that participate. I think we did very well. NJIT, New Jersey Medical School, Robert Wood Johnson, the School of Nursing, the School of Public Health, and the School of Social Work. So I think this is a great show. Yeah, oh, and one of the New Jersey medical schools, by the way, is shared with Princeton University. So because we've only had 4 scholars, one of the concerns was that they were somewhat isolated, although we were having the 4 of them get together. We thought we would increase membership in what we called then the Society of Scholars. And these are mostly junior faculty. They all have either K awards or career development awards from foundations. We have 22 of them, again, well represented in the schools. They participate, for example, Morale Moravian has advertised the mentoring opportunities to all of them that they've taken advantage of. And most of the opportunities that we afford our KL2 awardees, we also make sure that the society knows about. We hope that this is a way we can foster the development of even more faculty in the translational sciences. We've had one of our meet and greets had all of the scholars and included the TL1s. And this is a way we've been able to foster some collaborations amongst the junior faculty. And we have 3 that we know about that have begun. We've increased our Academy of Mentors members, and here they are. Again, a diverse group, Robert Wood Johnson, School of Social Work, and CINJ. So our plans, now the scholars will be concluding their 2 years in the spring. So according to the program, they have a presentation in the late winter to present their progress over the last 2 years. I'm interested in organizing the Academy. This is something that the scholars have said that they would like to have larger mentoring groups. And I think an opportunity for us is to reorganize the Academy such that they can form mentoring committees, larger mentoring groups for our scholars. As I've talked a little bit about the Metric QI committee that I'm looking forward to learning more about and then adopting those recommendations. As I said, mentorship opportunities with the TL1. I think that's very important for the KL2s, for their career development. One of the, something I've learned, I go to the KL2 click meetings that are monthly, that have representatives from all of the KL2 programs in the country. And they've been discussing mentoring contracts for scholars as they enter the program. And I'm learning more about those because I think that might be something we want to adopt. Again, diversity is something very, very important for us to continue to maintain. And I think this is especially true for the physician scientist. Of course, we want to continue to promote the mentoring programs that our institution has so that the KL2s, the scholars, can take advantage of those. And today, I also noticed that this is something very important for us to do, and that is increase core use by the scholars. And although our scholars are using the cores, I think we could do a better job of informing them about cores that they can utilize for their career development. And one of the thoughts I had was to have the core directors or their representative have small presentations at the next Society of Scholar meeting, where it'll be a relatively small group of about 25 people who can take 25 scholars who can then interact, ask questions, and perhaps increase core utilization. Okay, so thank you very much.
Great, Sally. Thank you so much. Just a couple observations. Number one is I'm glad that I'm where I'm at because I wouldn't want to compete against this crowd to get funding. Their productivity is measured in warp speed. So this is really great news. What we need to do is bottle it and distribute it. So I think we do need to build it out. I'm mindful of time. So unless there's a burning question, I think I'd like